Coach, the highs and lows of college football, how do you relate to your team after coming off a big emotional game, especially as you get to know these new guys and they get to know you?
Yeah, I mean, every week I think you start at the same base. You start to build up again. So I think every week is an emotional. For the amount of work that you put into these games, the preparation, you invest a lot in these games. So I think by now in the season, guys are used to just what our routine is, how we go about our business in order to get ready for the next challenge.
Yeah, and then does it keep you up at night because it was one game, or does every game keep you up at night? How do you kind of balance?
Oh man, I'm always trying to see what I can do better, how I can get the guys to play better. I don't necessarily think that it keeps me up at night, but I spend a large amount of time trying to figure out or make sure that the guys that are going to hit the grass and put them in positions to be in the best position possible.
Yeah, thank you.
What's the outlook? The second week in a row where there's kind of a little bit of quarterback uncertainty on the other side. I mean, what you've seen from Rourke, and then obviously
the only thing I know is they're going to have a quarterback, and so my approach is the guy that they put in is going to be the guy to give them the best chance of winning. And I think in college football, especially at the level that we are, that we play on, I think every quarterback is legitimate quarterback, and they can throw the ball well, and they can call plays and manage the game well. So the only thing I can kind of prepare for is that dude's going to be a good player, and so we kind of attack it that way.
When you look back at the Michigan game, how do you think that the secondary performed overall?
Well, looking back on that game, I thought the guys played well. It was no different than any other game, though. I thought the guys were up for the challenge, focused, and so it'll be interesting to see how we handle this week's challenge.
When you say that, what do you mean by interesting to how we handle that? What does that mean to you?
It means that coming off a loss, saying how we just attacked the week, and it's been good. It'll be good to see us get back out there. That's the tough thing about losing a ball game. You got to wait sometimes unless you got a bye week, 7 days in order to get back out there.
You appreciate that it's a team that's 8-0, that's been the darlings of college football at this point, and does that, when you're trying to get over something, the challenges ahead sort of
No,
others?
I don't look at it in terms of, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to get back on the map. I think every opportunity is an instance where we want to put our best foot forward. And so every week has its own life, so to speak. And so we're attacking this week because this is the week that we're in.
I was looking at Indiana and I saw how good they are at staying ahead of schedule, staying away from third downs. And I'm curious, as a coach, do you think there's an art to forcing those third downs, stringing together those stops? What would you say to that?
No, like I say, you try to put these guys in the best position to be successful. And once everyone is on the same page and doing their job, I think you have those opportunities to get guys or get teams off schedule. And so it'll be no different this week, trying to get them off schedule. I think that's kind of been our deal every week, is to make sure we're playing great on first and second down, and then to get off the grass on third down.
What's Indiana been doing well?
Man, they're a good ball club. I mean, they run the ball well, they pass well, they hold the ball as far as time of possessions. I think they do that well. So when you look at them overall, I think they're a really good team that's playing really good ball.
Do they do more RPOs than teams you've faced so far this year?
I think every team has an element of RPO, so you kind of prepare for that throughout the course of a week. But their RPO game it complements their run game, and so I think it adds into the depth that they can do in terms of offensive schemes.
Some of those outside runs from Michigan, and I think Alex Orji keeping it himself, going to the outside. How much is that on your unit and block shedding for your team?
I think that's on everyone. When you talk about team rushing or defensive rush game, I think all hands are on deck. And so, yeah, we got to be great. We got to be better on the perimeter in terms of getting off blocks and being a factor. I thought we were pretty good as we kind of going through this season, but there's always room for improvement.
That was the first touchdown that Muglin got. Was that just a miscommunication with guys picking up where he was coming on?
Can't remember it right now, but I would imagine that we would have wanted to be a little closer.
That was the tight end that went to the corner.
Yeah, I kind of know.
What do you think of your guys overall? I mean, it seems like you shortened the rotation a bit, especially, you know, some of it health-wise, but, you know, basically been a lot of Chuck and Ed out there.
Yeah, those guys are playing good ball. It's hard to take good players off the grass, you know, and so that's kind of how we've been rolling, and they've been great for us. They've been great for us.
This would be a more sort of a explosive passing game, I guess, more prolific passing game at some point. It's almost been the last couple weeks. Does that get those guys excited to be challenged in a different way, I guess, as opposed to the last couple weeks in those sort of schemes?
Yeah, I think it's a good challenge for us. I mean, we try to find something every week to challenge us in terms of, okay, like this is where we got to be great at. And I think this is a great opportunity considering the fact how well they throw the ball down the grass, down the field. So, like I said, it'll be interesting to kind of see how we can kind of measure up to those guys.
You can't really like measure it or quantify, but I'm wondering, like, when you watch them, do you notice like the confidence that Indiana's playing with? It seems like that's.
I mean, anytime you're
Seems like you
undefeated,
notice that.
I think anytime you're undefeated, you have some confidence behind you. And so they're playing good ball, like I said. They're a good team, so they should be confident.
I'm not sure where he is at in the recovery process, but Dylan Tatum, I imagine it's pretty difficult for him not to be able to play. Where do you see him stay involved and stay with him?
Oh, in terms of just the meeting room, like he's in there. He's putting his 2 cents in terms of just his veteran approach to preparation. So I think that's been good. And then the fact that he's around, for me, it helps me that he's involved. From a mental standpoint, I know he's still thinking ball. So it's great to have him in the room.
With good teams like Indiana, takeaways are key. Keeping the ball out of their offensive hands. Keeping the ball out of their offensive hands. Do your DBs work on like turnover drills? Work with their hands?
Yeah, I think we work on that like every day. You know, because at the end of the day, that's all the great DBs that Hall of Famers. Their ability to get the ball is key. And so I just see it the same on this level as well. Like, we want guys that can affect the game, and the way that you affect the game is to give the ball back to our offense. So we work it on a day in, day out basis.
From your perspective, who's the best DB you've ever seen? NFL, college? Who's your?
Man, that's so broad. That's so broad. What era you're talking about? What scheme you're talking about? So you got to give me a couple of days to kind of narrow down my list.
Good to see the Lions resurgence.
Yeah, they playing good ball too. We don't have to play them.
Good coach.
Thank you.
All right.